Well, my E94 kit for the top box light arrived over the weekend. So this Monday, today, the 21st, I'm going to go ahead and start the install. Yeah, one swift whack with my steel pin there and a hammer, and presto changeo, I have a hole in the bottom of the top box. Yes, the hammer and that very, very large nail made the hole to allow the receiver for the brake light switch to go in place. So here are the bits and pieces that we're going to adapt to the universal plate here for the top box, and eventually into that hole inside the top box, and also the wiring that they have scheduled to go in here as well. So this is the light assembly, or the rear assembly, that I had to remove in order to put the new LED stoplight in here. And it was just 3 screws, 1, 2, and 3, to remove the entire assembly. To apply the template to drill the one hole you need to get the light itself hooked to the switch that mates in the bottom of the box. So I'm about to put the template on this lower area and do a 9mm hole thing. Using that template, I put a 9mm hole right there for the electrical connection to the LED light unit to get to power. Well, it took a little head scratching, but I think I finally resolved it. The new unit fits in this receiver area, which then becomes the illumination component for the stoplight. And it has 4 screws that mate the light, the reflector, and then the backstop on that, which is this black unit. And that closes it all in nice and tidy. And then the wire leads will eventually feed through the box down to the contact points on the inside bottom of the top box. So I have the lens reassembled, and now I have the tail coming out of the back, which was the 9mm hole that we had to drill. And now I'm running cabling from there down through the bottom and over to the hole and the switch assembly. I missed the grommet that goes in that hole, and I'm going to take it apart and just put the grommet back in. Well, I pull the unit back apart and had to go to a 5/16 bit to make that hole a tad larger to handle that grommet. It was pretty tough getting that thing in there, but I did do it. And it's now all wired and it's hooked back up. And now I'm ready to start doing the attachments to the bike mount, and then ultimately bring the wire from the top of the box, in the top box, down to this connection point, which is where it gets its power to the stoplight. Well, I did manage to wire tie the brake light connector, and I did manage to get the cable to run through the housing and exit, excuse me, exit right here, so I can at least work to connect it to the block. Well, except for connecting to the brake light wires, I've at least got it all put back together, and I ended up with a good run on the cable into the brake light area. I'll finish it up tomorrow. Well, she's all buttoned up, and I actually left the top box wired into the key switch so that when the bike comes on and the top box is on, the rear light is automatically on. I think I'm going to leave it like that until I get to the dealer and have a good idea of how to get into the brake light wiring. But at this particular moment, I'm happy that all the connections work, and I was able to lead the wire, my new little piece, back through the universal mounting plate, so that when you snap the top box on, it connects to two electrical posts to the box itself, which is in the base of the box, and then that wiring hooks to a base plate that's in the top half of the box, which is a direct connection then to the 4 LED lights. A sweet little gig. And I have to say that the kit was better than I had expected in all regards. If I had just had a little bit more understanding of how the connectors all worked, it would have made life a little bit easier, and maybe I wouldn't have had to order that extra part. But it does work, and I like the look. And my wife always applauds me when I add safety equipment to the bike. Talk to you soon. Ride safe. A little live action before I put it back to bed.